So yesterday we have discussed about this prerequisites for the trade-in system, the item groups and the item model groups. Then we have configured some products and released some products into our company as well for the purpose of buying and selling of those products. And we will try to create some purchase orders today. Let's talk about this concept of purchase orders to buy goods from the vendors. And let's see how the purchase order process is handled until the invoicing. So any idea what is a purchase order? So purchase order is generally an order for procurement of goods from a particular vendor or to buy goods from a vendor. You will list out all the goods that you want to buy. Purchase order also contains the quantity of the goods that you want to buy and the pricing of the goods, as well as taxes and charges related to the trade. Everything will be mentioned in the purchase orders. So in Dynamics, along with the P2P cycle, we know that creation of purchase order is the main point or the key start of a trade with any vendor. So let's try to create some purchase orders and see how the purchase order process is handled in Dynamics. For that, I am in Reliance Legal Entity. Before I create purchase orders, I want to change the number sequence that is taken for the purchase orders. That will be in accounts payable module under setup. Should not be under accounts payable module. It should be under procurement and sourcing module. And then setup on procurement and sourcing parameters. It will take default numbers, but I want to give a specific numbers pattern for the purchase orders. So that's why I took you here and number sequences. Here I have purchase order numbers, this one. So I'll just click on this. Here it is having standard number sequence, means company name and 6 digits. What I'll do is I'll remove the company name. I'll give this one as PO and 6 digits and 6 digit and keep it continuous and save. So this is the pattern that I gave, PO 000 000. Now, as I said, that is under procurement and sourcing module. Actually, it's a earlier module to accounts payable or the activities related to vendor trade agreements or trade discounts, and everything will be available in procurement and sourcing module. So the parameters are also available in procurement and sourcing module for changing the number sequence. Also, you can create a purchase order from here itself, from procurement and sourcing, or from accounts payable module also. Both of them would be taking you to the same page. Now I'll go to accounts payable module. In this, we have second menu as purchase orders. Under that, I have all purchase orders. Here, accounts payable, purchase orders, all purchase orders. Click on all purchase orders to take a while to load. So it's an empty page. I don't have any purchase orders here yet. We can create a purchase order. So I'll click new here to create a purchase order. So it is asking me which vendor account you want to select. You can select one vendor account, or you can select this one time supplier. So one time supplier is not configured yet, but you can select this one. So one time supplier is a concept where you can use one vendor account as a One-time supplier means whenever you are doing trade with some miscellaneous vendors with whom you feel like you won't do trade once again, or it is if that purchase is only for once and you're not going to buy regularly from them, then no need to create such vendor accounts in business. Normally, certain countries they don't prefer to create such vendor accounts with whom they do trade only for once, but most of them create all the vendor accounts. In such case where they don't feel to create those irregular vendor accounts or the vendors with whom they do business only once, if they don't want to create such vendor accounts, they would work on this option of one-time supplier. They'll create a vendor account called as one-time vendor and they will use it for other purpose. Whenever they are trying to buy goods from any miscellaneous vendors, they will use this one-time vendor account. So invoices are created against that one-time vendor and payments are also done against that only vendor. So it's a one vendor serving the purpose for all vendors, or I mean serving as all vendors for the miscellaneous vendors with whom you don't do regular trade. But for the vendors that you do regular trade, you will create as a regular vendor and you can select that normal vendor account. Normally when you select create a vendor, you have an option within the vendor if this particular vendor is a one-time supplier, or I mean if this vendor account that you created is used as a one-time supplier. You have that option or flag in the vendor master. If you enable that, then you can use that here actually. Or in the parameters, in the accounts payable parameters, we have this option of enabling one-time supplier, or you can give as a default one-time supplier there, one vendor as one-time supplier. So it will be automatically picked if you enable this flag. So that's the scenario. Otherwise, most of them don't use one-time supplier. As far as I see, no one was using one-time suppliers. I can use an existing vendor, this one Tata company for suppose here for creation of purchase order. So as soon as I selected one-time vendor here, I can see delivery address here. So what is this delivery address and where it is coming from? Well, we have created our legal entity. We gave our delivery address as a warehouse address, and we gave the purpose of the address as delivery. So that address is automatically picked here by the system. Delivery address, you can see here. Purpose of the address we gave as delivery. That is why the delivery address is picked here. In order to deliver the goods into our business, so this is the preferred address by us, or you can change the address if you want to. You drop down, you can see all the list of 3 addresses that we have in the have for our company. You can select this warehouse number 2 address if you want to. Here, suppose if you select this, automatically the address will change, but the delivery has to be done to this particular address. So that's how. Then purchase order number 1 is generated. You can see that from that number sequence that we have changed initially, you can see this one. Other than that, we have purchase type, journal, purchase order or written order. Journal means it is just a draft. You cannot post anything, any transactions further if you create a journal. It would look like a purchase order, but it don't take you further for any other action on this order. But if you select this one, this is the main criteria that you have to select purchase order. Purchase type is purchase order. So if you want the purchase order to be by default changed, purchase order, I mean by default it has to be assigned as purchase order. You have to change it in the procurement and sourcing parameters, which I'll show you in a minute. So on return order is something about returning the goods. If at all the goods that are delivered by the vendor are not fair or not good, if you decide to return the goods, we can create a return order. That will be covered in the next part of the course. So for now, I'm just selecting the purchase type as purchase order. And it is taking the invoice account here as the same vendor account. So the same account is taken as invoice account. But I told you a scenario where you can create parent and child vendors. At that time, if you are selecting a child vendor here, automatically that parent vendor account is taken as the invoice account here in this situation. But since we don't have such relation, automatically whatever the vendor account you select will be the invoice account here. The vendor name, then rest all details are okay, except the site and warehouse. We can give the site and warehouse, but we might have to create this site and warehouse. So I'll just create site first, right click here, create one. I'll say one, site number one, and save it. Then go back, warehouse. For the first site, I will link one or two warehouses. So I'll create one and give the number as 11. House one, I'll say. So it's linked to site one. Here it is asking which site it belongs to. I'll give it as site one. So this warehouse one belongs to site one. Again, I'll create another warehouse number 22. I mean, just give a number, which is warehouse number 2. Site, I'll give it as first site only. Both of them, both of them are in site number 1, but warehouse 1 and warehouse 2 are separate, so I gave them separately. That would be all, and the remaining details you can add, but that all comes into warehouse management once again if you are using these details. So which is major part of supply chain warehouse management. Most of them would prefer to use this warehouse management module, but I'm just linking these details of site and warehouse because just for the track where the goods are being delivered and where the goods are being placed, that you can detail in the warehouse management module actually, and in which rag in the warehouse the goods are being placed. You can give serial numbers for them, you can maintain the condition of the goods, you can go for the inventory count and see if the goods are available in the warehouse or not. So all these details are there in the warehouse management, as well as you can accept the orders and then deliver the orders. Packing of the goods can be done under warehouse management module. So these actions related to the goods are actually in the warehouse management, as well as you can move goods from one warehouse to another warehouse, transit, and it would be all packing the goods and making the outbound orders and a lot of orders into one particular vehicle, packing all of them. So that would always comes under warehouse management and transport management. So I just created, right? So I'll select one site here, warehouse number 11, anything 1, 11 or 22. Then what is the expected delivery date of the goods? You can keep one. You can later also change it if you want to. Suppose if vendor is expected to deliver goods by 10th, I can keep delivery date as 10th. Then currency of the order is US dollar only. If you want to change it, if it is a foreign currency order, you can change it. Then language is English US. So this language is our company's language, which we give in the legal entity when we create it. So that would be taking automatically. So these are all the things that you have to fill when we would take you from up once again. So vendor account, then the warehouse address you can select. I mean, it will automatically select the delivery address and you can change it if you want to. Then order type, purchase type is purchase order, which is very important. Without having this in place, you cannot proceed with the order. Then storage dimensions, then accounting date and delivery date, language, English US, click on OK. As soon as you click on OK, PO will be created here. So here it is. So just like in every journal, we have header level and line level, right? So in the purchase order also we have header level and line level. So this is the header level of purchase order. We also have some other menus in the header level. I'll take you through. But now the selection is under line level. Line level means it will show minimum details of the header level and the line details here. So these are the lines that we have in the purchase order lines. And these are the menu items related to the line. Specific line is having specific menu details. Lot of details you can see for each line. So I'll try to edit this PO. Okay. Then I'll first take you through the process of completing a purchase order cycle. Then I'll come back and explain you the remaining points that are available on the purchase order menu. Okay. So now you can select which item that you want to buy from this particular vendor. This vendor is Tata company, right? Vendor number one, under purchase order number one. Which item do you want to buy from the vendor? You can select. See I can see these 5 items. So how how I can see these 5 items only here in this item list? Any idea? Yesterday we have released these products and created few products, these two, in our legal entity Reliance. So I can see them here in the list of the products that I can use for buying purpose. You can see the item group linked to them, and the default order type is showing purchase order. However, we can also sell the goods. If at all we buy something, we can also sell them. So I'll select this one, cricket ball, to buy it from this particular vendor one, Tata company. So it's not relevant company to buy a cricket ball, but however, just select. So you can see item number, cricket ball, and when you scroll it right, how much quantity that you want to buy, you can select. So quantity, 10 quantity, and unit price, you can see automatically unit price is taken from the product itself. When you created this product, you have given the purchase default purchase price as 100 actually. So I'll show you that one as well. So I click on item, and again I can click here on item, so that it will directly take me to the item master that we have created yesterday. So here under purchase, as you can see in the item master, I gave the default price as 100. So automatically it takes 100 as the default price of each product. So actually I will try to authorize some vendors here. Go to purchase, approved vendors. I'll add some, come on, not this one. Approved vendor setup. I'll add some vendors as a approved vendors. Vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3. If at all I am buying this good from these 3 vendors most of the time, so I can keep these 3 as here, so that it system will allow you to buy it. Otherwise also it will allow you to buy, but it shows a warning message saying that this vendor is not authorized for purchase. So I'll show you further how it will show. For now I'm giving this vendors, 3 vendors as approved vendors for buying this product from. Okay, now I'll take you back, close it. Here I gave 10 quantity and 100 each. So you can see net amount is also 100, because in the product level we gave for 10 quantity 100. So automatically it is taking 10 quantity, I mean 100 normally, and net amount is showing as 100. But usually if you select for each, means in the product, it will show you the each level. I'll show you that one as well quickly. Oh. Here in the item actually we gave price per 10 quantities 100. Suppose if I say price for only one piece, here price for one quantity is 100. Let me save it. And for sell also I'll give sell. I did not give anything, I guess so. All right. So price per one quantity is 100. That's what I gave here. And I'll go back, close this, refresh this. Still loading. So I think I can remove this line and add once again since it's not bringing the detail set. I just deleted this record offline. Add one more PO line here. Select that same item again, cricket ball. This one 0060. Then you can see one quantity is for 100. I'll change the quantity to 10. Now each unit price is 100 and net amount is 1000. 10 into 100 is 1000. You can see here. So you can set up the default prices there in the item level, or you can ignore it so that you can manually enter some prices here itself in the line level. If you want to change it to 120, you can change it, no problem. So net amount will change to 1200. You can change it anytime. So this is how we can add a line. For now, I'm adding only a single line. You can add multiple lines also. If you want to buy another product, you can add one more line. Select the another product number. You can say leather cricket ball you are going to buy again. And then how many you want to buy? You want to buy 5. You can buy 5 and unit price is not defaulted here because you did not give it in the item level. So you can manually enter some unit price as 150 for suppose. And you can see the net amount as 750. You can save it. So now you can buy these 2 lines. So now you see this error message or warning message, not error. Vendor code is not authorized for 0061. So for this product, vendor is not authorized. It's saying it will not stop you from posting the invoice or neither the processing the purchase order, but it will just give you this kind of warning. Earlier I have for this particular product, I have approved some vendors or given some 3 vendors as approved vendors for buying this product. So I don't see any error for this one. But however, for this product, I can see this warning message here. So even though if you have warning, it will still allow you to post invoice. But to clear that warning again, as I showed you, you have to set up the vendors as approved vendors for a product. That would be easy for you and you don't see any error. You see this warning because sometimes users might try to create a purchase order for vendors who are not authorized to buy such goods from. So then it will give you a warning message to the users saying you should not buy this good from this vendor. So they will revoke their action of creating the PO, I mean processing the PO in case if they get that such kind of warning message. So that's the point. So I'll remove this line here. I only process this for only one line for now. You can do that, no problem, but I'll just go with one line to simplify this process. So once after creating the purchase order, and if you feel like the goods that you want to buy are entered properly here, item is selected, 10 quantity is selected and price is okay, all good, net amount is 1000. The next step is to confirm the purchase order. Here you can see 2 statuses. This one is called as confirmation status. This one is called as order status. Confirmation status is now in approved state. Now the order status is open order. Open order means nothing has been performed on the order yet. If you receive the goods, the order status will change to received. And if you invoice it, the order status will change to invoiced. Here. This one is first will stay in approved state and then will stay in confirmed state. So 2 statuses. There are also other statuses. If you follow the workflow mechanism, it will be in draft status initially. Once workflow is approved, it will change to approved status. And once you confirm the order, it will change to confirmed status. This is confirmation status and this is order status. Remember that. Now I'll go to purchase here on the head in the action pane and I can click on confirm here, this one. So since I feel everything is all right and the order that I created is for the same, and I can click on confirm here, which would confirm the purchase order. Normally you can print the confirmation and send it to the vendor saying that this goods has to be delivered and to the address by this delivery date. If you would deliver, that would be good. So you can give that confirmation slip to the vendor. Actually, you can print that confirmation also. I'll show you where you can print it. So at this point, you don't have any accounting entries when you confirm a purchase order. So let it confirm. In the meanwhile, I'll just write down the steps here. Get a PO. Within that, select vendor item quantity price. Then confirm the PO. That will be under purchase. So let's see. It's confirmed now. You can see operation completed and showing the status as confirmed. Here you can see it is still an open order. We did not receive the goods on it, so but I can see it is confirmed. So actually you can print the confirmation from the same place. Actually here you have purchase order confirmations, or you can see this option of generate confirmation here. Can do that one as well. So that's grayed out for now. Suppose if we change anything on this order, if I change the quantity from 10 to 12 this time, suppose, and save it. Let's say it's asking if you want the unit price to be changed. So I can click on OK. So now 12 quantity, 12 into 100, 1200 is the net amount of the order line. See, as soon as I change anything on the confirmed order, again the order status will go back to approved. I have to reconfirm it. So this happens every time. Whenever you make any changes on the order at the header level or at the line level, you have to again confirm the order. So now we can see this is in approved state. I can go to purchase and click on confirm, or I can also click on confirmation from here. Both are same, but here you can generate a print actually under this one. Can do anything. So I'm just doing this one. Click on generate and confirmation. So here it is. The confirmation will be printed. You can select uh, printer. Actually, you can select it to print on the screen itself. Not this one actually. Print purchase order. Then printer setup, purchase order, print on screen, select. Now if I click on this one, you can give a default terms of payment if you want to. If there is anything applicable for this PO, can give one. If not, I can leave it. If I click on OK, normally it would print the purchase order lines and the details, and you can send it to the vendor saying that, see, these are the goods that we want, and this is the quantity and price that you have promised in your quotation that you shared, and please deliver the goods as soon as possible. That's what you ask them for. So it takes a while to print actually, since it's the first print of the day. Oh, it's loading, still taking a lot of time, but usually it won't be this much late. It will print quickly, and you can use a printer to print it directly into the printer onto a paper, and so that you can send it to the vendor, or you can print it on the screen like this. And you can see this one cricket ball of 12 quantity each. This is what you want it from the vendor, and you can export it into a file, and you can send the file to the vendor. You can see the delivery address to where the goods has to be delivered here. It's placed here, delivery address. Okay, there are no prepayments or anything. So nothing is given here, but we can also give prepayment or make some prepayment beforehand. So that will be covered in the next part of the course as well. So what is the process is that if you confirm the PO and you will see this confirmation slip, you can export this slip and send it to the vendor saying that, see, we need goods to be delivered and please deliver these goods. And you can see the delivery date being printed here. Please deliver on or before this date if possible. That's what you ask from the vendor. So it's not obvious that vendor would deliver the goods on the same day or maybe earlier or later, depending on the availability of the goods with him. And you will again have a good conversation with him on telephone or anything, except, I mean, not only just in the email. Sometimes you can just send the email of your order, I mean, this confirmation of the order, saying that we have created a purchase order for you for these goods, please deliver these goods. So that's what. Now the order is in the confirmed status. So once confirmed the order, so vendor will deliver the goods. So what happens when the vendor delivers the goods? We have to receive the goods. Vendor will deliver the goods to the warehouse. Warehouse is somewhere the address that we have given, right? So the warehouse manager, what he'll do, he'll look into the goods that are delivered by the vendor, and vendor will give you a goods receipt slip saying that he list out the goods that he's delivering. So 10 cricket balls, right? He'll give a slip of details with the quantity of the goods that you have delivered. 10 cricket balls are being delivered to the warehouse. So the warehouse manager will look into the slip, count the goods that he have received. So if they are same, then he'll take the goods and place it in the warehouse. So accordingly, that's the task of the warehouse manager, and he informs the team, procurement team, that goods are received. Or he can also post a inbound there itself, which would indicate the receipt of goods actually. But from purchase order also we can receive the goods. So here, here in receive option under the purchase order header level, receive, you have this option called as product receipt. Product receipt is that you indicates that you are receiving the goods. Upon receiving the goods, you have to post this product receipt, indicating that you have received the goods. You can also skip the step of product receipt and directly invoice the goods. But if you don't post the product receipt, inventory will not be listed or added into your warehouse or into your inventory management. The inventory step will be skipped. So if some people doesn't have any, uh, I mean, any requirement of maintaining their inventory, they don't post a product receipt actually. But if the inventory has to be accounted properly, the physical inventory as well, then product receipt has to be posted. So you can select this one, product receipt. Then once you click on product receipt, see, you can receive all the goods at a time, or you can partially receive the goods also. Means vendor delivered only 5 cricket balls saying that he's not having the stock, then you can post a product receipt for only 5. Or if vendor delivered all complete order at a time, so you can post it for complete order. So you can change it actually, but you have to give one specific number here, product receipt number or goods receipt number, anything. I just gave PRN1. So this product receipt number is again given by the vendor himself. So vendor usually send a slip along with the goods that he deliver. On that you will have the product receipt number or goods receipt number. So that you can post here and that you can add here manually, whatever the number that he is having, that vendor sends on the slip. Okay. Then you can see the line of the order again in the bottom, purchase order, cricket ball, 12 quantity you can see. If you want to change quantity, you can change it here. If you are receiving only 10, you can change it. And for the other two, if it delivers again, you can post another product receipt for the other two. So that we will see in the next example, how to create multiple product receipts for the single order and We'll see more scenarios further with that. So for now, I am selecting all the quantity and total of 100 each and 1200 total. So you can post this one. You can also print this one if you want to. You have the option of printing product receipt also if necessary. If it's not required for you, then you can just click on OK. So without printing, it will post the product receipt. Uh, Actually, received it. Then here under journals, you can see product receipt journal. So earlier it wasn't active. Now it will be active, and all these things will get grayed out and not available. So you can see this journal here. So it's saying that receipt number is one is product number one is posted for purchase order. You can correct a product receipt or cancel a product receipt all the time. If you want to, if you want to cancel it, you can cancel it and repost it. If you want to correct it, saying that not 12 quantity is not received, only 10 is received, you can correct it and reduce some quantity from that posted product receipt. Actually, I was looking for the financial voucher. It shouldn't have been posted. As I guess so, it's not posted here because we forgot to enable a parameter for posting the product receipt voucher into the uh, general ledger. So that is why I'll cancel this product receipt and repost the product receipt again after enabling that parameter in the accounts payable parameters, so that we can also understand the accounting entry posted while product receipt is posted. So here I cancel this one, this product receipt. Now what I'll do is I'll duplicate this tab. So you can enable it earlier itself. I mean, with before posting the product receipt, we could have enabled it, but just got the idea after posting it. So here in accounts payable parameters, accounts payable setup and accounts payable parameters. Here you have the option post product receipt into ledger. If you enable this, then only financial voucher will be posted into the general ledger. If not, the financial voucher is not posted. However, inventory will be added to the inventory management, or to the product inventory will be added. Now I enable this product receipt in post product receipt in ledger. Now I'll try to repost the product receipt. See, this one I cancelled already, as you can see. Now I will repost the product receipt again. So now it is still open order. Earlier it was received, but however, since we cancelled it, it is showing as open order. So because there are pending goods set on here, which has to be received. So again, I can click on receive, and now I can see this one is active once again, where I can post a one more product receipt or a corrected product receipt. It's the same product receipt, but this time we have enabled that parameter, right? So I'll just add it as PRN 1.1, just for the version 1, I can say, or 1.2 version number 2. You can also change on which date you have received the goods. You can say on 10th if you received the goods, you can give date as 10, or if on 8th, suppose if you received the goods, product receipt date you can give as 8 here. And going down, you can see the same PO number, cricket ball, quantity and price and all, line amount and every detail are same. You can click on OK. So now again, it is posted, and you can see the order status changed to received from open order here. So now you can see the receive and product receipt journal. You can see this one, new one, PRN 1.2. So earlier one was cancelled and the new product receipt is updated. However, now you can see the voucher for this, which what voucher is posted for this product receipt. Here it is. Accrued purchases account is credited with 1200. Inventory received or cost of material received, COM means any account, is debited for 1200. Since you are receiving the inventory into the company, inventory received will be debited. So it's an asset account and you are liable to pay something to the vendor, right? So for that, accrued purchase account is created. It's a liability account which is credited. So this is the financial impact. Upon doing invoice, this will be reversed and the original entry will be posted. We'll also see that further upon posting the invoice. So I'll just note it down here. This is very important. In interview, they will ask you this question. Product receipt entry. Accrued purchases or purchase accrual, anything you can name it. Accrual will be credited and inventory received or cost of material received. Yes. So this is the entry. Now my doubt is from where it is taking these accounts and how this voucher is constructed here. So yesterday we have configured a main setup called as item group. In the item group, we have given main accounts related to various actions that we perform on the product or items. So since we have received the items, then accrual entry is posted here for the goods received. So that's what I can see here as an accrual entry. Inventory received is debited and accrued purchase is credited. You can do invoice later, but by the time you do invoice, you still are liable to show your inventory that you have received and you have to accrue the purchase. I mean accrue one liability account saying that we might have to pay to the vendor. Suppose if I receive the invoice, I have to pay to the vendor, right? So for that, we'll post this accrual entry initially. So these accounts are taken from the item group itself. If you want to show you the item group again, normally here, not general ledger, inventory management, inventory item groups. Here under purchase order, here you can see cost of material received. So that account is taken here. This one 1,80,000 cost of material received, and then purchase accrual account will be somewhere here. Purchase accrual 2,80,000. So that account is taken here. So here you can see posting type purchase accrual, cost of purchase material received. That's what this one, purchase accrual, cost of purchase material received. Posting type is that one. And this is just the account names we have given in the main account list. Almost similar names, just gave a change, little change for you to understand. So this is it, guys. When you post a product receipt, you will get this entry. And we'll move to the next step in the order, invoicing the purchase order. So now the status of the order status is received. Now let's assume that vendor sent an invoice for me after delivering the goods. So I will post the invoice against this purchase order upon receiving the invoice from the vendor. So vendor will send the invoice to the business address. Goods are normally delivered to the warehouse address. However, invoice is sent to the business address or the invoice address that you have specified in the legal entity addresses. Okay, then I'll go to here, invoice tab on the top. First I went to purchase tab to confirm it. Then I went to receive tab to receive the goods and post the product receipt. Then now I'm going to invoice tab to post the invoice. So you can post invoice or a pro forma invoice. Pro forma invoice is nothing but a dummy invoice. If at all we post the invoice, how it would look like, you can see here. It will not affect anything. You can just see a dummy invoice pro forma. But this is the original invoice. Generate invoice. You can see here. If you post invoice, you can see invoice journal here. Posted journal. Now it is showing empty here because we did not post the invoice yet. So here you can generate the invoice. Again, you can post multiple invoices for the 12 goods that you have received. Suppose if vendor is sending two invoices, one for 6 and another for 6, you can post those two invoices separately. Or vendor only sent one invoice for now with only a partial invoice, partial amount like 6 goods only. Then you can post only that 6 goods invoice. But if you send for complete, you can post complete. So this is the invoice. You can give a number for the invoice number. So invoice number is not a predefined number from your number sequence. Invoice number that you have to give the invoice number of the vendor. Whatever the number that vendor gives on his invoice, whatever the invoice that he sent, on that he will print his invoice number. So you will enter the same invoice number here. If you enter the same invoice number, then it would be convenient for you to reconcile further, or later when you have any issue with the vendor invoice, you can easily track with the same number here in your system and compare it with the vendor version and your version. Okay, so that is why you can give the vendor invoice number, whatever you give on the invoice. So I'm just giving it as Tata POINV1 just for example sake. Invoice number I gave here. So as soon as I give it, I can see this is updated here, the top. Can give an invoice description if you want to. It's not mandatory, but you can add a description if you feel like. Then purchase order number 1, product receipt number 1.2 is considered. Then invoice date. So on which particular date you are going to invoice it. Suppose vendor send me the invoice on 10th of December. So I can select the invoice date as 10th. So posting date also I can select 10th, assuming that I'm posting it on 10th. Or if you are posting it today and posting the invoice for 10th, that also you can do, no problem. Or if you're posting it on some other past day, like 15th you are posting, but the invoice is dated for 10th, so you can give posting date as 15, or means it will automatically change. Whatever the day that you are posting, it will appear here in the posting date normally. And you can see the due date is 1st 9 2022. I'm not sure why it is showing so. I mean 9th of January 2022 actually is given here for the vendor, maybe as a default that you can see in the header level of the invoice actually, or in the purchase order level only you will usually give. Automatically it will be taken into the invoice level as well. Here I can see cash discount, but I could not see yeah, here I can see terms of payment defaulted from the purchase order, and onto the purchase order it is defaulted from the vendor account net 30 days. And all this method of payment and cash discount is all automatically got defaulted from the vendor account onto the purchase order and now onto the invoice. Okay, just go to line level again on the invoice. I just gave the invoice number, description I have just left it over, gave the invoice date. Then in the line level I can see here. So it's almost look like a purchase order line itself, but here the line will be defaulted from the purchase order. Cricket ball with 12 quantity. I can see here 100 and 1200. Now it is showing as passed in the sense I'll come back to that point of invoice validations, which would show as passed or failed later. So we have that important concept to discuss in the later part of the course. 1 second. Then here we can post the invoice. Before posting the invoice, I'll just match status is not performed here. I can click on this one, update match status. It will automatically pass here since we did not give any rules for invoice matching it. So after you can post it here, this one. So this invoice is posted. and it will automatically redirect you to the purchase order level once after the invoice is posted. Now you are in the PO level. Okay, and you can see the PO status change it to invoiced. Means you have completely invoiced whatever the goods that you have on the purchase order, so the status is showing as invoiced. Suppose if you received only 6 quantity here and invoiced 6 quantity, the order status will still show as open order because there are pending goods to be received and pending goods to be invoiced. Suppose if you receive complete 12 quantity, order status will change to received. But if you are invoicing only 6 quantity, order status will still remain as received because you are not completely invoicing the order. So it will still show the previous status only until and unless you invoice the complete order goods. Now since you have invoiced everything, you can see it is as invoiced here. Now you can see the accounting entry for the invoice, which you can see again under invoice. Under journals, I can see this one invoice. So before it load, I'll just show you the next step. So receive, for receive, post product received. One can say generate product received. Then, so it's not on received, it's receive invoice. Generate invoice. Number, date. You can post the invoice. Okay, these are the 4 steps we have involved in. Now if I clicked on that invoice journal, I can see the financial voucher that is posted. You can print it if you want to. No problem. You can print it anytime. You can also see voucher that is posted, the financial voucher posted. You can see this one. I think you can ignore this account, purchase expenditure invoice, 0 account. These 4 are the main accounts that you can see here. Inventory received. Just note it down actually. When you can see here, accrued purchases account is being debited here for 1200. So accrued purchase account was earlier credited for the same amount here in this product receipt entry. Here the same account will get reversed here. Whatever is posted in the product receipt, entire product receipt will be reversed here in the invoice level. So this one will get debited and this inventory received account will get credited. So I'll show you this one. Accrued purchase account is getting debited here and inventory received account, as you can see here, inventory received account is getting credited here. So this is the two things that are getting reversed actually. Accrued purchase is getting debited and inventory received is getting credited here. And accounts payable account you can see is getting credited now. This is the original entry. Accounts payable is getting credited and inventory received. It should be inventory invoiced account that I have to give here. I think I forgot to give the different account, but however, normally it will be inventory invoiced or cost of material invoiced account will get debited here. Is the second entry. As you can see, cost of material invoiced will get debited here. So purchase accrual will get debited and cost of material received will get credited. Means the product receipt entry whatever was posted earlier will entirely get reversed. The accrual entry will get reversed and the original entry will get posted. Original entry is vendor balance will be credited, means accounts payable account is credited and cost of purchased material invoiced will be debited. So since you are receiving the inventory, I'll also note down that invoice entry here. So the same I'll just copy here and keep it here. So this one will be reversed, right? So I'll enter debit here and credit here. So other than this, I'll have 2 entries. I'm posting invoice against the vendor. Accounts payable account will be credited and inventory invoiced account. Inventory invoiced account will be debited, or you can also call this one as COM, invoiced or cost of material invoiced will be debited. Inventory invoiced account. I'll change this account now in a while in the item group. I'll give a new account. I think I have created, but I forgot to assign that account in the item group. Let me edit this. Cost of material invoiced. Sorry, cost of purchased material invoiced. I gave it right already. So, but I gave the same name actually. That's the mistake. See, here I gave different account. Here I gave different account, but the name I gave is same. So this name should be inventory invoiced. Cost of material invoiced. Now it will get updated here. And I can close this form. It will also get updated here in a while. This one, cost of materials invoiced, inventory invoiced or cost of material received, it is still showing. I changed it. Well, remove this account and reassign the account. It's still showing invoiced. Now it's changed, inventory invoiced versus or cost of material invoiced. Okay, updated the name. That should be the name actually, and I gave the same name for both the accounts, which was wrong. I just updated the other account name. So this will be the entry when you post an invoice. The product receipt entry what you posted earlier will get reversed automatically, and the original entry will be posted here. Accounts payable will be credited and inventory invoiced account will get debited. So this is again for 1200. Clear guys for all of you, these two entries. This is understanding, this is important. So this accounts payable account is taken from posting profile, and this inventory invoiced or cost of material invoiced account is taken from the here cost of purchased material invoiced from the item group itself. Earlier for purchase accrual it taken account from here cost of purchased material received. Since we just received it, it will take this invoiced account since we are invoicing the goods now. This one. So this is also an asset account or inventory account actually. So that's what you can see here in the transaction. I mean the one that I posted. So if this is clear, then I'll move to the further thing. So I'll enough. Since we have posted the purchase order already, what we can do is I can show you the item. So am I going to the product, where is this? Product information management, going to released products in the company. So we bought 10 goods, right? After this one, this item, select this, go to this manage inventory option here, go to on hand inventory. So you can see the inventory available in your system now. So you have 12 quantity available in your system, means now since you have bought the goods, so you can see available quantity is 12 now in your system. And you can also see the transactions here itself. Actually, transactions means what sort of transaction you have done. See, when you post a product receipt, then only inventory will get added into your warehouse. So directly. But we have cancelled that first product receipt, right? So automatically it got reversed. And since we have created another product receipt later, so that got adjusted again here. That's what. So packing slip or product receipt return. So we have done that one, right? I mean, packing product receipt is cancelled, right? So that is why it's showing as tick mark. So as soon as you post the product receipt, inventory will be added to your warehouse, or inventory will be added to the product as well. So once I cancel it, it is showing as so. And after posting another product receipt for this date, here I can see this one. So that's the thing. This is how inventory gets added to the product once you buy it and post a product receipt. For this, suppose if I go to inventory, this leather cricket ball, manage inventory and on hand inventory. I see it's 0 because I did not purchase anything yet. Suppose if I sell some of the quantity from this 12, that will get reduced from the inventory, means that inventory will be out of the company and the remaining will stay in the inventory list. That's how. So that is mostly into supply chain again, but I just want you to understand the impacts on both the inventory side, how it will get impacted once you process a purchase order. Okay. For now, that would be all for today. Tomorrow we'll see more scenarios of how to post multiple product receipts for the purchase order, then how to post multiple invoices for a purchase order, and if time permits, we can also see more scenarios. There are few. We'll cover all of them if time permits tomorrow.